Good afternoon, everyone. This is your host, Vivian S. De Guzman, and welcome to another episode of My Spiritual Money RX. Today, we are going to go to Sedona for an experience called the Divine Feminine Trail when we actually did our Sedona Vortex Healing Retreat. And I wanted to share with you what it's like when you enter in and actually release a lot of the issues that you may have had with you being a female, maybe your role as a female in your household. Perhaps you had some issues with another female. And when you actually go into the sacred spots, the sacred places wherein all these ancient people come in and commune with the forest, commune with what we call this divine feminine trail, what would happen to you physically, emotionally, mentally, psychically, and even spiritually, right? Like what would transform in your life when you enter these sacred places? So I wanted you to take a peek on what happens to the participants. These people decided to actually come with me to Sedona, experience the magic of this divine feminine trail, really confront what it is that they're feeling within themselves as a female, or perhaps the female issues that they're having in their homes, if it was a male. It was pure magic. All I can tell you is that for every single tree, for every single sacred tree that we went into, it was magical. And definitely there was a lot of transformation that happened, but I want you to see for yourself. Take a look at their faces, take a look at the way they stand, take a look at the way they walk. Something magical happened when we were in Sedona. So here it is. Well, today is the second day of our retreat, and we're going to the Divine Feminine Trail. So all of your mother issues, or the issues that you think your mother may have had, or grandmother, the ideal stuff you may have had, or you wish you have, this is where you uncover what the truth is of what the feminine energy can be for you. What I wish for all participants would be to help them find what they would allow as what they deserve as a woman in this lifetime. So let's see what works today. All right, so let's create a circle, everyone. Okay, so 5 to 10 minutes of hike uphill, and then when we get to the top, we're gonna do some pictures. For every picture you're gonna take, please ask permission if you're okay to take it or not take it.
I'm just feeling, as Vivian would say, really neutral, like literally just level. I don't know how to describe it. I feel like somebody has just kind of pressed the off button and I'm floating with it.
And we'll just go with that flow, okay? So we're gonna approach a few trees that are considered sacred, and then when you guys come down here, that's the time to talk. But I would suggest really just journaling and going within when we go up there, okay?
Your grandmother tree is the tree of all mothers. So again, when you have issues about your mom, grandma, parents, anybody that you feel like your feminine side needs to be nurtured, but maybe you didn't get it, this is the time to ask perhaps why, what do you need, what kind of support you need, and go from there. And then see what revelation you get. So this is the veil tree. The veil tree is where we communicate with spirits on the other side. So normally when you're in this tree, I ask my clients to protect themselves with the golden roses and ground the boundaries, the aura. And then whatever needs to come from the other side of 100% love and light, perhaps you have some feelings, some thoughts you forgot to communicate, or you didn't have a chance to communicate with a loved one who passed away. Perhaps you needed support in your life from the other side and you're just feeling like no one is in your family supporting you. This is the place where the spirits from the other side can come through and communicate with you and allow you to experience what that support, that feeling looks like. And just be open to receiving those messages, and then we journal outside that tree so that we can really embody what that feels like to be supported from the other side. So the shaman that took us here back in September of 2015 gave us an idea of how these trees are, and then we connected with the land. Because when you come here, you just feel a sense of peace, that one you can't buy anywhere, because the peace is within you, and you embody that peace, and it's completely different than anywhere you've been. So this is the little sister tree wherein you can find your inner child, perhaps your inner sister that you need to express any feelings that you have inside that you needed to heal. And so go ahead and communicate with that inner child of yours, that inner girl inside of you, or perhaps your sister and you needed to heal something. And this is the time to do that. This tree is called I Am So Green. And so it's a very playful tree, and it's going to invite you to name yourself that you are so blank, whatever that is, and just go with it, because that'll be your own label of who you are. So go ahead, ask permission to enter. actually learn to communicate with nature. And when you're one with Grandfather Sky, Grandmother Tree, the insects, the plants, the animals, you'll find out that there's so much inner peace within you that only you can experience when you allow yourself to open up. With the wisdom of ancestral spirits of this land to give you that wisdom and power to be who you need to be in this lifetime. Bring yourself back here to the present. Allow that shape shifting now to just merge into your body as part of you. Know that you can always do this anytime you assume the pose that you assumed in this vortex. Take a deep breath. So now go with this mission and vision provided to you by the ancestors and the spirits of this land. And go ahead and journal what you need to journal. So this is the vortex. So allow them to, you could be here. So go ahead and open your feet chakra. Allow yourself to really receive what the land wants you to receive. So here we feel the vortex or that swirling energy go through all our chakras, whether it's our main chakras or our little chakras. And we just allow the vortex to clean up everything else within us that needs to release. You're now going to assume an animal spirit that resonates with you, and you're going to shapeshift to that, whether it's some form of a bird, an eagle, a bear, anything that calls you to shapeshift. And don't question that, just allow your mind to quiet down as if you're going up out of your body to the mountains, traveling where you need to go, allowing yourself to find the messages, whether it's from the ancestors of this land, the spirits of who your future self is and what you need to bring with you in order for you to fulfill that mission that you are entrusted to do in this lifetime. So allow yourself to just be and breathe. So this is our brother tree, and any unresolved issues you have with a brother, whether it's in your family or perhaps a man in your life, ask for wisdom and guidance as to how to resolve that issue with the brother. Ask permission to enter and then journal when you're done. So here in Sedona, we have a bunch of trees and plants, and the cactus is a way for us to cleanse our energy. So if you've heard of energy clearing, this is where we take ourselves around the cactus where there's vortexes, and there's different areas where you feel the energy literally shift, like that spiral energy in the chakras go through your body from your feet all the way through your whole body. And sometimes there are still some parts of us that are tight or we hold tension, and that's where we're going to ask the cactus to assist us in clearing that specific energy. So we're going to allow the cactus thorns to pass through us, literally where we feel we have tension and congestion and resistance, and the energy will float up as if the thorns come off the cactus up to where you need it to be. So let's say it's your head because you're thinking a lot, and you ask it to pass through you, you literally feel everything move through you as if it cleans up all the congestion and breaks up that pattern that you're holding within yourself that's causing you your misery. So we're going to gather around. That's good. So form a circle around the cactus. Find your spot. As if you're a whole, remember you're just a body of light. It'll pass through you and release all the congestion and the resistance of your body. It'll come off in your back and then bring it back down to the earth. Okay? Just be grateful for this day that we have taken for ourselves. This sacred day where we allowed nature to be part of our being, where we allowed ourselves to release what we needed to release, and now we create this new space for us to be who we need to be in this lifetime. So everybody just touch the earth, squat down. Grandmother tree, thank you.
Thank
for
you.
giving us everything here today, and it's been an honor.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Thank you. See you again.
Wow, that was a magnificent experience for a lot of the participants. And I wanted to bring in to the show Sarah Sharyar because she was filming us while we were there, and she also experienced the magic of this divine feminine trail. Sarah, welcome.
Hi, Vivian.
Hey,
Thank
how
you for
are
having
you after
me.
Sedona?
Man, talk about releasing and releasing. You know, I cried the whole time from like there
I
are
remember
clips
the
of me.
crying, definitely.
There are
So
clips of me where I'm filming and I could just hear myself sniffling in the background.
I remember the processing that went with that, right? And
Yeah.
and that is with preparation. We even had a prep healing like a whole month
Yeah.
prior to the actual event, right? So can you share with the audience, like as soon as we went up to that divine feminine trail and you saw the grandmother tree, I remember that. You and this grandmother tree had this deep connection. Could share with the audience how that felt like.
Well, I'll be honest, Vivian, I really was skeptical, you know, like I don't want to say I didn't believe in it, but I didn't know what to expect, you know, and so I wasn't expecting anything, but when I did approach it, I was very, very surprised to be having this conversation with my own grandmother, something that I mean, I can't even make that up. There was this just a direct conversation with my father's mom, and she was explaining to me why, like the reason why I was in Sedona initially. Again, it was to remove our blocks, you know, our abundance blocks. And when I was talking to my grandmother, she was just giving me the details and explaining to me why we are wounded the way we are. And she gave me a background story of how difficult life was for them. And that's why we grew up with closed heart chakras. Or we manifested her pain in this lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So it was
That was
absolutely
deep.
very, very revealing and mind-blowing.
Yes.
It just creates more faith and makes me more passionate about what I do and what we do. So
Right. Yeah, and sometimes people avoid the pain. However, like you said, you had to go through pain yourself. And then when there's this revelation or some form of an explanation, you couldn't even explain what it is. It's almost like a divine intervention wherein the grandmother tree was communicating through your grandmother and then through you and explaining their side of the story. So is
Right.
your grandmother still alive or not
She's
anymore?
not. She's not. I never
She's
met her.
not. So it's her spirit communicating with you what really is happening, and a different perspective of what's happening, not just based on you, but based on also their story. Wow,
Absolutely.
that's
It was
profound.
so profound. I cried so much on that trail, and when it was the clarity I needed to have the courage to even go further to see Jeff for my other clearing, because I was so scared to even see him. But then that conversation made me realize what it was that I needed to resolve anyway. And so I had more clarity when I went to see Jeff the next day, and I somehow even missed seeing him on my original scheduled appointment. I was like, what am I going to go see him for? I don't even know. So my grandmother gave me like a hint, a clue of what to go and talk to Jeff about even. So that was
Wow, now
amazing.
that's
Yeah.
profound.
It was,
Yes.
I can't even
Yeah.
make this up. Like, it's so magical.
And I remember you cried so much, and even towards the end of the trail when we had the Vortex, right?
Yeah.
And Sedona is very well known for their Vortex healing. Really, that's what it is. And to cleanse our chakras in the most natural way. Like you said, we couldn't make this up because you're feeling the energy. Like
Right.
people were like moving their bodies in circles,
The
and then
twist in the
you're
trees.
processing. Yes,
The
even the trees
yeah.
are twisting in their branches.
Yeah.
And then you're like, in Sedona, I always share this with everyone that comes with me. It is not good or bad, right? It's just nature has its course. Sometimes it's life coming up, and sometimes it's dying. But we
Right.
have those different cycles in our lives, right? The birth and the death and the rebirth and the death again, like it comes back and forth, back and
Yeah.
forth. So share with them what you felt around the vortex and around the cactus, towards the very end of the trail when we were
I mean,
processing.
because you're surrounded by these incredible mountains and these unique shaped rocks that are ginormous, like there's dinosaurs under there. um, that combined with the land and, like you said, the vortexes, it's cleansing. It felt incredibly cleansing and grounding, and there was just so much grounding in earth, and it was an incredibly healing experience for me by far. Every time I say how could I possibly shift more, and then the most profound thing happens is I'm just like, oh my God, like more, like, could I be more
More,
enlightened? How could I possibly
right?
be
That,
more
that's
enlightened?
why we set people up by making sure they're doing healing
Yeah.
even prior to the retreat.
Yeah,
it,
right.
in the beginning, I remember when I was doing the Sedona retreat, people's like, you're making it so hard to actually like sign up for something. I said, no, I'm preparing them. Can you imagine if there was no healing, no energy clearing before the Sedona retreat? How much crying are you going to do? Because you didn't have a time to process
No,
the
I think you do the right thing.
information.
It's like stepping into the lukewarm water before you
Yes, that's what
you
the
know,
meditation is. Exactly.
warm up into the heat of things once you get into it. So yeah,
Yes.
that's
And I remember you had one of the most profound changes. And when you finished that second day of when we were doing this Divine Feminine Trail, yeah, you released a lot, huh? You
I
cried a lot.
did. I did. I did. I journaled some of it. It's on video.
Hmm.
But even you saw me, at the end of the day, how like it was almost like convulsing, and
Hmm.
the release.
Yep.
I've never seen my body do anything like that before.
And how did it feel to release, Sarah?
Uh, I mean, 10,000 pounds lighter until I get to the next level, into the next layer.
The next layer of release, right?
Yeah, until
Now,
the next layer.
now we want to share with the audience that not everybody really cried like Sarah. We all did have our moments. I did my crying myself, I'll be honest. And it was fascinating though, the next layer that gets peeled off. And then your magical self appears. You know, that's the profound nature of the shedding, right? When you release the old, comes the new. So that's why we do this Sedona retreats, because there's the lining up, right? Aligning. And then after that, there's the divine feminine, so that you can resolve all those issues you've had in the past. Because those may show up as your dysfunctional relationship with your mother, grandmother,
Sure.
with
Yeah.
a sister, with a
Absolutely.
friend, right? A female
Absolutely.
friend, and any female
Absolutely.
client. See, that's
Right.
the significance
My
of this.
niece came up a lot. My niece, who looks like
Wow.
me,
Yes.
she was connecting with me on another level, and she's this little 6-month-old little baby girl, and she looks just like me. And I'm like,
Wow.
so she came up a lot for sure that day
Nice.
too,
Nice.
as like a symbol of renewal, of a fresh start. And that's what my grandmother kept saying, and I kept saying to her, well, it ends here. I said, whatever happened, Grandma, it ends here. That's not how we're living anymore. And
Right, right. And that's how we heal those generational
right.
beliefs and those generational wounds that have happened, because finally one of us decided to stop it, right? One of us
Yes.
saying, you know, I think I got the lesson. I don't need to keep on repeating this pattern for a long time. And
Yeah.
that's really healing.
Yeah.
When you
I like to
recognize
research. I like to research
cellularly,
and figure out what's really going on here. This is
right?
not how I'm living my life. I was like, no
Yes,
way.
yes.
So
So you become more cognizant and you become more conscious of living it. And so now you can stop the wounds, the hurting, the different patterns that are negative, and so that you can have a different life after you or with you, right? Within this lifetime. So
absolutely. And
thank you
and
so
sorry,
much.
real quick, Vivian. There is so much resistance going into this. Like, you feel like, what could you possibly gain? What is going to happen? I mean, first of all, your energy synchronized the most incredible group of women. And that synchronization alone just added to the entire experience. But the amount of resistance, sometimes it's like, what could I possibly get out of this? Every single time it's mind blowing.
Wow. Yes.
My belief.
Yes, I remember that. There, for some people that don't even know, like, what is this spiritual thing, right? And I remember Marina said, "You didn't advertise about this tree hugging thing." And we kind of did a lot of tree hugging, but that's okay. So you're one with nature, you know, you're one with life and all the living things in the world. So Sarah, thank you so much for sharing that experience. Thank you so much for the
Thank you
beautiful
for the
videos.
experience. Thank you for that
Yes.
experience. And I had
Yes.
fun documenting it, and I hope you guys really enjoyed watching my
Yes,
perspective
thank you.
of the filming and the storytelling, something that I love to do. And I'm just grateful that you're such a great storyteller, and I don't have to, push you to say things, because you're just so natural at it. And
Thank you.
I just think it flows so well. So thank you. I'm really proud of these experiences, and just capturing them and keeping them in our memory forever.
Yes, yes. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thanks,
Thanks.
Vivian.
All right, everyone. And if you have any questions or if you have any comments and you would like to ask us, email us, you can go to vivian@feelbetterrehab.com and inquire a little bit more about what is Sedona Vortex Healing Retreat like. You can also go to our website, viviandeguzman.com/healing retreats for more information about our upcoming retreat in January 4 to 6 of 2021. We will be back again and bringing whoever is willing to really bring out their best for the next year ahead of them, right? So this is like a taking a look at your life, taking a look at what else is possible, because anything is possible, you guys. When you start to open up to the support and the beauty of Mother Nature, and everything in your life, if you're okay and not attached to releasing things that no longer serve you, Sedona Healing Retreat is one of the best experiences you can ever have. So again, go to vivian@feelbetterrehab.com if you have any questions regarding this retreat. And we're going to get started on our breath work, meditation, and all those healings the beginning of December. So we're going to do that 3 weeks before. So before Christmas, you're ready. And so it'll be on a Thursday at 9 in the morning. And so check it out, viviandeguzman.com/healing retreat, or you can email me for any questions that you have. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. And I'll see you again in our next episode next Wednesday on My Spiritual Money RX. Have a great day.